Welcome today, Elizabeth. It's really a pleasure seeing you on our Evolution Arc C-Suite Leadership Series, a platform that brings together respected leaders from India and across the globe for meaningful and thought-provoking conversations. And you indeed are special. And with your touch with so many women entrepreneurs, I know that you're going to bring about a lot of changes and a lot of women are going to grow under you. Your presence adds immense value, and your insights promise to inspire a wide community of decision makers and change makers. Elizabeth Vaz is the co founder and CEO of WEConnect International, a close friend, somebody whenever I meet, there's so much of warmth and a glow which I'm always inspired by. Leading a global movement that connects more than 135 women leaders across the globe. That's really amazing, with corporate and government buyers representing 4 trillion in purchasing power. I think there are very few women who have achieved this. A pioneer of intersection of global trade, entrepreneurship, and inclusive growth, you have enabled women-owned enterprises to access, compete, and scale within international value chains. Recognized globally and featured by the Forbes Aspen Institute, you are also the co-author of Buying for Impact, championing the power of purposeful purchasing to transform economies. Through your vision, Elizabeth, you continue to shape a more inclusive global marketplace where women entrepreneurs drive sustainable growth. I'm really happy to have you on our podcast today and add value with a few questions which I'm going to ask you now. So, over to you. First question is, from enabling access to 4 trillion in procurement opportunities to building global value chains, what leadership shifts are required to move from intent to real measurable impact at scale?
Well, thank you, Cavita, for inviting me to join you for this Mindskillz podcast discussion. It's really
Pleasure.
important what you're doing, so it's an honor. And I mean, for me, moving from intention to real measurable impact at scale is about purpose. Being clear about what impact is most important and why, and then sort of working backwards to establish a baseline and a reality check of the landscape to assess what will it really take to get from where we are today to where we need to be. So the next step is to always, with deep humility, ask for help, right? Because nothing can be done at scale without a community of support. And it really requires a lot of listening and willingness to adapt and to pivot as you learn new things and as you have new experiences to help inform that journey. So none of this is rocket science. And the best leaders do all of these things with great transparency and accountability so that real impacts and the lessons that we learn along the way can not only be celebrated, but also assessed in terms of what's left to be done.
Great, great insight. In your journey of championing women entrepreneurs globally, what are the most critical barriers that still persist, and how can leaders in corporations actively dismantle them?
I think fundamentally, the world really needs everyone to contribute, and everyone should be benefiting from our prosperity. Leaders are responsible for creating a vision and a path, but most importantly, we all have to build an environment where our teams can thrive, where they want to innovate and co-create solutions with us to solve real world problems. So, what are those problems, and what role can we play as a team to help solve? So women aren't a problem to be solved. Women themselves, they're really an asset to be unleashed so that their gifts of community building, anticipating needs, flexibility, these all need to be leveraged by corporations to build stronger institutions. And it's not about men versus women, but about teams that value and embrace diversity of thought, experience, because we need the best solutions to be implemented. And I think this is the strategy that's required for both women and men to be able to contribute to their full potential.
So you have been practicing it, and do you think it has been useful?
I can't imagine it's possible to do it any other way successfully. I think recognizing that none of us have all the answers, and it's much better to brainstorm and to test things with other people
Right.
who have a different perspective, a different experience, to get to something that would be much, much better than anything I could do on my own.
Correct. Very true. My third and last question: as someone deeply invested in impact sourcing and inclusive growth, how can organizations balance profitability with purpose without compromising either?
Mm. My experience is that it doesn't matter what country, what industry sector, people just want an opportunity to deliver solutions. We all want purpose. And organizations really need and want everyone to contribute to the success of the mission. And when it comes to supply chains, it's really important to know your customer because women make or influence over 80% of all consumer purchasing decisions, but they're completely invisible in our global value chains. And so WeConnect International is created by the world's biggest corporations because they know that they need everyone engaged. They're not going to give a contract to a business because it's, owned by women, but the women are generally not showing up to compete. And when they do, they don't necessarily know what the needs are within the organization. So we need to facilitate conversations between what the world needs, it's a $120 trillion global economy. There's plenty of money in the world. We really
True.
need everyone participating. And if women are winning only 1% of all of the procurement spend within these large organizations, then we're really missing out on opportunities for everyone to crowdsource in solutions to problems. And WeConnect International is, I think, one of the best resources out there to be able to give space for a peer network for companies to share best practices to how to build really resilient value chains that anticipate the needs of all of their customers.
Thank you. That was great. And as a closing statement, how would you like to leave us after this podcast?
I think, first of all, listen to all of the podcasts that you're putting out there. You're really engaging some incredible thought leaders. And it's always better to be able to benefit from, the lessons learned, the hard lessons
True.
that others had to learn so that, you can focus on other things and take on other challenges. But for me, the biggest thing is how we spend our money says everything about who we are and what we value. So just, please, everyone, be more thoughtful about how we spend our money and make sure at least some of it is going towards the things and the people that we say we value and we say we care about so that they can in turn use those resources to create jobs and invest in their families, invest in their communities, and make the world a better place for all of us.
Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure having you on our show.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Kavita. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yes.